Acting Permanent Secretary for Local Government, teams of special administrators, CEOs of municipal councils, CEO of National Fire Authority, senior officials, invited guests, guest speakers that we have for today, ladies and gentlemen, Bulavinaka, and a very good morning to you all. I welcome you all to our Municipal Council Special Administrators Forum. I would like to thank you for your willingness to serve as special administrators for our cities and towns. I look forward to working with you in uplifting the image and services provided by municipal councils around the country. You have been chosen to drive a reform agenda which is still not complete. We must focus on continuous improvement of councils' internal operations and external services to our ratepayers and businesses. And we must remain visible, responsive, and facilitative. And I emphasize, visible and facilitative, as well as responsive. Local government is at the heart of our communities. You provide essential services every day to our citizens and to our businesses. And you also help in building local economies. I have had a thorough one-to-one discussion and team discussion on the expectations of the Ministry of Local Government. I hope that our discussion has given you a better understanding of your role as special administrators and what you need to do and achieve in the next 2 years. The last term for special administrators was challenging with the onset of COVID pandemic in March 2020. The pandemic has been a major factor affecting the work of the municipal councils. And I recall there were days when the office staff had to manage the municipal markets because the market staff were down with COVID and they could not do their duties. But we had to pull staff from the main office. And I recall for Nosori, we had to close the office just because we had to manage the market. So I thank you for the work that you had done during this COVID period. The country has never experienced such a shock. Nevertheless, the special administrators' hard work to ensure our towns and cities remain safe for all Fijians is appreciated. The pandemic had a huge impact on councils' finances. The councils faced challenges with unpaid rates, and the limited resources that you had were diverted towards ensuring public places were safe for vendors, visitors, and general public. Despite that, the council focused on governance and operations of municipal councils. New policies and SOPs were developed. Council adopted new organization structure to improve visibility and performance of the team. Valuation of assets were conducted. In some council, it was not done for years. Sexennial valuations were also completed. Again, for many councils, this exercise was pending for a number of years, which was not in line with the Local Government Act. New collective agreements were designed for negotiation, and I must say Savu Savu and Lambasa, they have completed the negotiation and they've signed the agreement. But for other councils, you are at different stages, and I just hope that you'll be able to conclude this exercise so that we can move forward. And why we need to work on the new collective agreement SAs and COs is simply because we live in a different time zone. We live in a different era. We cannot allow, or we cannot just continue the way municipal council was managed just because of very archaic collective agreements that were being used by municipal council. And for me, it was quite shocking, particularly for Singatoka Town Council, when I learned that the staff had 34 days of leave, and they also had a very large number of sick leaves. It was allowed in the collective agreement, which is not the norm for the rest of the Fijians working in Fiji. The council also developed new financial and HR policies And this was done with the assistance of Ministry of Local Government. OMRS was introduced to recruit staff and qualified finance officers were recruited to look after finance. Again, that was another weak area that we identified, where people who really are not accountants, but just because they have done finance management or some economic units as well as some accounting units, they ended up managing council's finances, and that was the reason why municipal councils could not complete their annual reports. The special administrators also completed some major government and council-funded capital projects. These projects included Reki Reki Market, Langere Market, Namaka Market, Korovo Restroom, Bar E-Hub, Bar Market Extension, Children's Park in Savu Savu, Dombati Resource Recycling Center, installation of a Stallion Monument in Singatoka, installation of lights at the Melrose Bridge, creation of extra car parking in Singatoka, as well as jetty at Collins Park in Lemhi, upgrade of water fountain in Children's Park in Tavua, and the purchase of electronic boom gates for car parks in Suva. Some beautification work was also carried out in towns and cities, and I must say to you, that is not enough. It is not enough, and you need to put that as your key priority. To improve security around municipalities, CCTV cameras were installed by Suva, Lotoka, Lemhi, Nosori, Singatoka, Lambasa, and Savu Savu. But again, we need to put more CCTV cameras, and the reason is safety. You want your visitors to come to town, and the visitors, when they come to town, they must feel safe. And by putting CCTV camera, that will just give them that peace of mind that the towns and cities are safe. For your information, in London, they have 22 million CCTV cameras installed. And London is one of the safest places. It's not safe just because without CCTV cameras, the place is safe. No, it's because of the CCTV camera, the place is safe, not without. So we need to install more CCTV cameras. It is worth noting that a total of 123 annual reports were cleared and tabled in the Parliament during the tenure of the previous special administrators. So in other words, in 2 years, we cleared 123 annual reports. Now that was a very big achievement. And I want to thank my team at Ministry of Local Government, because they have been pushing the CEOs of municipal councils on a daily basis. Where are the annual reports? But at the end of the day, we managed to clear a very large number of annual reports. Now, going forward, I want to identify 4 key areas where the SAs and CEOs need to work hand in hand so that we achieve these 4 key areas. First is customer service, a fundamental area that needs attention. This is a huge task, as some councils lack customer service etiquettes. Ratepayers are not seen as clients, and the very reason why, that is the reason why we have municipal councils. If we don't have ratepayers, there is no municipal council. It is through rates that we are able to generate more income. For example, the commercial buildings that you have. You're able to take loan from banks to venture out into commercial activities. But rate is the starting point. And who gives the rate is the ratepayers. But if we are not looking after their affairs, that means we are failing in our duty. So it is important that complaints from the ratepayers are acknowledged, it's investigated, resolved within a specific time. And I have seen how municipal councils are attending to complaints, and I'm very disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed the way we are handling complaints. I don't even have good examples in that area. But I'm just hoping that each and every municipal council, with the help of the SAs, will put in a system through which you'll be able to serve the ratepayers. And that is our topmost priority. Customer service, when we say first and foremost, we should focus on customer service, you can also have stakeholder consultation. It's extremely important, again, to engage with business houses, to engage with tourism association, to engage with ratepayers, and see what they think of your towns and cities, what kind of feedback they're going to give you, or what suggestions they're going to make. So it's important to do that. My second suggestion would be, as I have said, municipal councils and the towns and cities are the engine for economic growth. That's where the businesses take place. And to grow your towns and cities so that you can collect a lot more rates and garbage fees, etc., and you can have a lot more people coming to towns and cities, you need to focus on development application. Development applications that you receive from businesses and ratepayers needs to be attended immediately. The assessment of application must be done very quickly, and council should act as facilitators and not portray the image of authority and power. I've seen some councils who sit there with the development application as if their job is to block the application. How you can stop the development. It's not, there is something not right, but how you're going to guide the investor or the developer so that they can overcome that particular query that you have, which may be not in line with the law, or which may be because of lack of understanding. But you can guide them, you can hold their hands and take them through so that that development application is processed quickly. When you hold on to the development application, it simply means that the economic activity of the town and city is at halt. It's not moving. But if you allow and if you approve that development project, then the economic activities will start. And you know what I'm talking about. And my third area for the SAs and COs to focus is on quality projects. I'm emphasizing quality projects. Projects not done for the sake of it, but projects done with the vision of our ratepayers and for the future ratepayers. You know, we need to modernize our towns and cities. And quality projects have been outlined as part of your KPI, which we discussed for each council, and this must be delivered. And the last on my list is the strengthening of municipal councils. You need to collect the unpaid rates. It is shocking that the ratepayers are owing $62.8 million to municipal councils. And as special administrators, you must improve the rate collection. Can you imagine what we can do with $62.8 million? And for your information, the government provides $62 million every year as free education grant. And here, $62 million are owed to you. And with $62 million given as free education grant, 1,700 schools are running in this country. But if we get our $62 million, imagine how many parks, how many commercial buildings we can improve. This is our weak area. We don't have targeted KPIs for the finance team or the debt recovery team, and we need to put that target and hold the staff accountable. I've seen previously there were municipal councils who would just collect enough rates that will cover their salaries and wages and their operation. That's all. No effort was being made. but in the last term, when the SAs were there, they've changed it around and they are making sure that the rates are collected. And we had done the rate profiling, which will now help the municipal councils to recover the rate, because you know who these ratepayers are and for how long they have not been paying the rates. And we have also seen that most of these ratepayers, they collect rents, but they live abroad, and they're least bothered in paying the rates. We have been, I've been talking to the permanent secretary and the staff at Ministry of Local Government. We are taking a cabinet paper for cabinet approval to change the law so that we can recover our rates. The law needs to be changed, so we will be doing that. Finally, I urge you to commit yourself to serve your ratepayers and the people of Fiji. Be visionary, be bold, and provide the change that people would like to see. Thank you. Thank you very much.